Rashid is a character of high mobility and a plethora of options to approach and keep the pressure on the opponent. On top of this, he is extremely well-rounded. He shares some of the tools that other strong characters in the game have, such as an invincible reversal, a cancelable low crouch medium kick, and an install level 2 super. If you are looking for a character with a variety of tools with depth to explore, look no further than Rashid. And we're going to start with the most important thing when learning a character, Rashid's neutral. Now, I think the most signature move he has is his fireball. Is square circle forward kick, and he has 3 different versions, right? And they all go at basically different trajectories, but they have the same frame data. In general, in neutral, you're going to be using the light kick version because it goes the furthest. However, the heavy kick version is pretty good at hedging against jump-ins. Obviously, the main weakness of any fireball move is you can jump over it, but you can kind of fake out with the heavy kick version, and the medium kick version can be used in a similar way, but not, you know, from like a little bit of distance. So generally you want to vary all 3, but light kick version is probably going to be the most consistent option when you're trying to zone with the character. But the cool thing about this is you can charge it up. So they all go the same trajectory when you charge it up, but there's 3 different stages of charging up the fireball. The first you hold about halfway, and you can kind of tell it has that little gust at the end. But also if you make the opponent block, it'll do 2 hits on block. See how it does 2 hits? The advantage of charging this up, you sometimes do this in combos as better frame data, and it's also really good to fake out a full charge, right? So what you really want to do with Rashid is set up a full charge fireball because it leaves this little tornado gust there at the end. Like if some people react to the full charge because it's really, really slow, you can just do the semi-charge and kind of bait them into pressing something or trying to approach. When you get the full charge out, basically it enhances a couple of his moves. It enhances the spin mixer move, and it enhances his eagle kick. And what this does is it makes light spin mixer plus on block. Most of the time you're either going for a throw or you're going for a shimmy. So you do something like this, bait out the throw by just walking back slightly. Another thing that people like to do is they will walk back a lot after this. So you can just do like a slight delay crouch medium kick and hit that walk back. And the other cool thing about this is that if this hits, you actually get a full combo. So it's just like you combo into stand light kick into eagle kick afterwards. Now you can also do the eagle kick. The main benefit is it's harder to contest, but in general, it's not as good because on block, you just kind of go back to full screen. So in my mind, I always want to set up this light mixer because I'm Rashid. I want to be right up in their face when it's my turn. Now, the most common counterplay to the situation is that people will jump. Here's me predicting this is going to come out, and I'll jump back, and then I get a full combo, right? And so this is what you have to be really careful of, but thankfully Rashid has a couple ways to deal with this too. You can kind of chase down that jump. Against back jump, you really don't get a punish, unfortunately. But you can just kind of chase them back to the corner. Sometimes if they neutral jump, you can just anti-air with H mixer. The other thing you can do, and this is a little tricky, though there's some counterplay, is that your jump also goes way further if you have this tornado out. And so you can kind of check them like that. But that's pretty much all your options. Obviously, like this move gets enhanced too, but you're not going to want to do that because that's super unsafe. The other cool thing is EX Eagle Spike has projectile info. So if you're ever like in a fireball ward with Rashid, like you can do that EX Eagle Kick to get through. And all these Eagle Kicks are safe on block when they're enhanced. If you just do a random Eagle Kick in neutral, these are super unsafe. Slight walk forward DI, and you get a full punish, right? He also has the EX Fireball. This EX Fireball is quite good in neutral. It's really good in Fireball wars, right? So if, you know, they're throwing a regular Fireball, your EX will go through. But the other cool thing here is you can just walk behind it. You see, I'm still plus after I ran behind it. So if you want like the easiest neutral skip option with Rashid is just throwing an EX Fireball and running right behind it. All right, so let's talk about his other key neutral moves. This stand heavy kick, this move doesn't look very good, but it's actually the god button because it's safe on block and it's really good for whiff punishing, right? Because it goes super far. So if I see Rashid press something, you get a punish counter, and off this punish counter, you get like 2k damage. This move is insanely good, and look at the pushback on block. A lot of times people will like try to hit something afterwards. So let's say Rashid is just pressing his, let's say medium kick. So you can like space trap with that too. Very, very good button. You're gonna want to press this button a lot, especially looking to whiff punish. Another button you're gonna want to press a lot is this crouch medium kick. This goes pretty far, but it's cancelable and it hits low. So you can do something like this, and you get a full combo. So this is really good just to kind of throw out. You can check dashes with it. You can catch them walking back with it. It's just a good all-purpose poke to throw out. For anti-air with this character, you want to do H Mixer. He has some moves that look like they can be anti-air, like this move, but I think this move is actually just trolling because it gets beat a lot of the time. Don't use that. This move is kind of trolling too. Does very little damage and also just gets beat out some. EX Mixer is kind of trolling. You can use it as an anti-air, but it's not the best. Instead, you almost always want to use H Mixer. As long as you do this move early enough, it almost always works. And the main benefit to H Mixer over other anti-airs is it's really good against cross-ups. You just have to make sure you input it the correct way. But if you do it too late, then you'll just get hit. So in general, just be as early as you can be on this move, the better. The last neutral tip I can give is use Drive Rush. Using Drive Rush with any character is really, really strong, but Rashid has a few good buttons out of it. My favorite one from like close range is Crouch Late Kick, and on hit you get this Crouch Late Kick, Crouch Medium Kick into Eagle Spike. And on block, you can just throw or do whatever, right? CM Medium Punch is also pretty good, just because it leads into a lot better damage. And it's good because it's quite fast. Stand medium kick is good too. It has a lot better range. So if you're like trying to do drive rush from this range, obviously the your crouch leg kick will whiff. Drive rush stand medium kick combos into stand heavy punch, and you get a nice juicy combo for that. And if they're not pressing on that stand medium kick, what you can do is you can drive rush forward heavy kick. You get a target combo after they forward heavy kick. But the main benefit is that if they block this, you're plus right in their face. You're literally in throw range. And a lot of other Rashid moves from Drive Rush, they kind of push you out. In my mind, the goal of Rashid and Drive Rush is to do your fast moves, make sure they're not checking you. And then when you know they're not going to check you, sneak this in. Rashid has actually some really good defensive options. EX DP is obviously very strong. You should be using this occasionally. Rashid has three main defensive buttons: stand late punch, crouch late punch, and crouch medium kick. Stand late punch is your fastest normal, so if you want something just to mash out really quick, this is your option. Crouch late punch is a little bit slower at 5 frames, but because you're doing it from a crouching position, it's probably your best option to do like a delayed jab. So it's like your anti shimmy button, just pressing a delay jab at the right time. Also, if you happen to counter hit them, this goes in the crouch medium kick in the eagle spike, and then you start your mix-up game. The other good thing is you can also do a delayed crouch medium kick because this will beat walking back. So you can do like crouch medium kick in the spin mixer, and you're still safe after. Obviously, block is really important. Backdash is important against throw loops. The other unique option Rashid has, so you can do Tiger Knee, this flip move, and if they slightly mistime their throw, which is typically what happens, you can get a punish counter, you can get out. And of course, this level 1 and level 3 super are invincible, but generally you want to stick to the other options. Generally, you don't want to do level 3 super for reversal unless that's going to kill. Level 1 super is a lot more meter efficient. So Rashid also has a wall jump. It's very good for pretty much only defense. So in the corner, mixing up between just jumping back, and then when they start to like try to overcommit, you can get this wall hop off. You just press forward after the wall. You can also do this like full screen too, although it's like pretty useless at that point. You can also use this. I think it's really good, especially if you like do it that apex of your jump. That way, if they're trying to like anti-air you, even with like a lot of characters DPs might not necessarily reach up there, even if they try to air you, it'll be really hard for them to catch you. All right, so let's go over his offense. So I'm gonna do this a little bit different. We're gonna talk about the combo, and then we're gonna talk about what to do after the combo. So he has a few combos that kind of lead into the same knockdown. And also, I'm not gonna teach as many combos as a lot of combo guides do, because I don't think as a new player, you shouldn't be focusing on learning tons of combos. Just focus on the essential combos, and this will serve you, until you basically hit masters. So first combo, crouch medium kick, drive rush, stand medium punch, stand heavy punch, eagle kick. You see how that gives you a plus 52 knockdown? Let's say you hit a jump in. You can go into target combo. He has an MP HK target combo. Core circle back. Into jump heavy kick. Plus 52 knockdown, right? And the third thing that gives you something very similar is your post DI knockdown. So jump heavy kick, forward medium punch, HK Eagle Spike, plus 53, but it's still the same. So because all the frame advantages are pretty similar, you can do the same options on knockdown, right? So there's a few different options you can do. Probably the best if you're a beginner, because this is the most foolproof, is just do a charge light kick fireball. This can be beat, right? They can do invincible reversal. They can jump out. There's a few things they can do here. You can do a charge fireball, and then if they get hit, you get a full combo. And even if they block, right, you just get a bunch of corner carry and your +2. Another really good option is you can do dash into Arabian Cyclone. And this Arabian Cyclone we need to talk about. It's this 214 punch series move. It has 3 different versions. The light punch starts up the fastest, the heavy punch starts up the slowest. But the main benefit to the heavy version is that if you press forward and kick after, you're +1 on block, which means it's your turn. If you do that for the light and medium versions, you just get punched. The light and medium versions do have some use though. The medium punch version is mainly used in combos. You can link after it, but it is a little bit more advanced. We'll cover that later. And the light punch version, it's if you want to get quick access to the follow-up, this is the quickest you can do the follow-up. And it's actually used for some Oki subs we'll talk about later too. Right, so you're +5 after that because it hits meaty, so it's really tricky on that. The other thing you can do if you want to be a little cheeky is you can go for like a different version, and you can go for the back fall up to Arabian Mixer, and you can do a mix up. He actually screams mix up because the idea is you could go for an overhead, or you can whiff a jump light punch and then go for a throw, or whiff a light punch and go for a low, right? So you can start to mix that in, but that takes a little bit of conditioning to make them respect the plus frames after this. And of course, the other thing you can do after any knockdown, including this knockdown, is go for strike throw. If you're gonna go for strike, my recommendation is do a crouch medium punch. The cool thing about crouch medium punch is this is +1 on block, which means if they mash, you get a combo. The most common thing to do after crouch medium punch is either throw, or you can do stand light kick. If crouch medium punch hits, you can go into stand light kick into light eagle spike. And if they mash, you can get a combo here. So you can do like stand light kick, stand light punch into light mixer or medium mixer. Another really good media option is this is really good for catching walk back or mash. Do 5 light punch, 2 light kick, and then stand light punch again. So something like that is really good. And then if you want to shimmy, obviously all those options lose to delay throw attack. So if you want to beat a delay throw attack, you just walk back and stand heavy punch. So your shimmy punch looks something like this. So 3k for a shimmy, and then you get pretty good Oki after that too. And the cool thing is, after they block the stand heavy punch, you can mix up in a few different ways, right? So if they're mashing, you can just cancel into a whirlwind shot. You almost always want to use the heavy kick whirlwind shot because you're the most plus after. And heavy kick whirlwind shot, you can do a lot of nasty stuff after. So for example, this is +1 on block. And if you're spaced like even better, that's +3 on block. So you can kind of just keep looping this, and you can get some really cool spacing traps going there. The main thing that they can beat though is they can just jump out. They could punish you for it. So you have to be a little careful. The other thing you could obviously you just do stand heavy punch, anti-air the jump, or you can, if you want to be really greedy, stand heavy punch into heavy Arabian Cyclone, dash forward, and then get your +1 on block, throw attempt, or strike attempt. All right, so there's 2 other knockdown situations and combos that we need to learn. The second one is from around a +30 knockdown. So this is crouch light kick, crouch medium kick, and the eagle spike, and you see how you're +30, right? Now +30 is a magic number in this game because if you do drive rush into overhead, that overhead hits meaty. So there's a couple other situations this happens. If you do H mixer, like as an anti-air, you're around like +33, +36. It's pretty close, so you could just delay your drive rush slightly. Or anytime you come on the medium mixer, so something like this, you're +31. So on these knockdowns, I recommend almost always drive rushing. Drive rush overhead, really, really strong. Because you get a full combo from this, it beats smashing. You just go into target combo, into H Arabian Cyclone, into jump heavy kick. Keep in mind, for H mixer, you have to slightly delay the overhead, but you can still get it to hit meaty. You have a few other options, right? So of course they're gonna expect the overhead. So some people like the parry, so doing something like drive rush into throw to beat the parry is really strong. The other thing you could do is you can go drive rush low. So you can do something like this. You can also do that low combo we talked about before. But I recommend always drive rushing after that knockdown, as long as it won't burn you out and you still have a little bit of drive gauge to spare. So if you don't drive rush and they back tech, you don't really get anything good. You need to spend drive rush on these knockdowns in order to get a good mix up. Now there's one last situation I want to cover, and that's target combo in the corner. Very easy combo to do here is MP-HK and the H Eagle Spike. You get a lot more damage, but the main benefit is that you're plus 67 on knockdown, which means that you can do some really cool things. So doing this into backdash, jump heavy kick is a safe jump. That means they can't DP there. The other cool thing you can do here is you do light Arabian Cyclone, and then you can go for a 50-50. You can either go high, or you can whiff the jump and again go low, right? Right? So you see the potential here. You can just kind of keep looping this mix up. Of course, you can do empty jump throw if they parry. If you time the overhead version right, it will beat a DP. Okay, so a few other niche combos. You can use stand medium kick as a poke as well, and sometimes you'll get a counter hit. On counter hit, this links into itself, and same thing with punish counter. Punish counter, you are plus 10, so theoretically, if you're close enough, you can link this. Another situation that counter hit's really important to confirm is if you ever get this move, you see how this is plus 6 on counter hit, so that means you can link into a stand medium punch, into target combo, into combo of your choice. And the last thing is you want to make sure you know how to combo into level 3. So generally, if you cancel the first hit is spin mixer, that's a really good confirm. The way I cheat, and I'll do a core circle forward spin mixer, and then I'll do the second core circle into level 3. So I'm not inputting 3 core circles, I'm only inputting 2. It's a little shortcut you can take. And the other place, if you want to be like really optimal off of like a medium punch or something, if you go into medium Arabian Sky, you can cancel the level 3. All right, so let's talk about his other tools and other things you need to know. And we'll first start with the 214 kick series in the air, what we talked about. So EX is obviously the best. You can actually direct it. So if you hold back, he doesn't go very far. But if you hold forward, he goes super far. And if you just do it normally, he goes somewhat far, right? He also has 3 versions. I don't think this move is the best. I thought this move was gonna be like extremely good, but the issue is that anytime this Rashid does it, you just go in the air and like hit him out. Or if you have like a really high hitting dragon punch, you can do that too. So like Rashid like doesn't really have to worry about this in the mirror, but it can be good against some characters. Like let's say Jamie that has a really low hitting DP. You can kind of like do that to bait the DP and then you can jump in. I'm not the biggest fan of this move, but it does have some use just to be tricky. You have this flip move. It's forward plus 2 kicks. The cool thing is like if you do 2 kicks again, you can do another flip, and you can also steer this jump. And so this could be really tricky. If you get the space to do it, this could be really like a surprise to a lot of zoners. And like dealing with anti-airing this angle plus anti-airing this angle can be really tricky. The hard part is just getting this out, but it's really good like as a surprise move just to throw out neutral against like zoners. Or if you're trying to escape the corner, like that's really hard to deal with. He has a run, by the way, so every character in this game has like a dash, but Rashid's special, he has a run, and he can do 2 moves out of this run. He has a slide move that it's pretty good. It hits low. You don't get anything off of it unless it's punish counter, which only really happens against like a fireball. And you can get level 1 after, which is really, really cool. You can also get EX mixer too. Depends on distance. It's really like finicky. You have to be pretty close, but yeah, you can get that too. So pretty good move. He has this run move as well. I don't recommend using this move very much outside of combos because this is unsafe on block, but where I could see it potentially being used is it's actually throw invul. So if like they delay throw tech, they get hit and then they get a full combo, right? Seems really risky to me, but if you could set it up, then go for it. A couple other normals we didn't talk about is sweep. I think his sweep's like kind of trash, not gonna lie. Like most sweeps, it's really good for punishing other characters' sweeps because you don't really get any other punish here. I guess you could do stand medium kick, but you don't get much off of that. and nothing else is fast enough to punish. By the way, if you made it this far in the guide and you found this useful, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out and helps us make more guides like this. Of course, I stream as well on Twitch. We have a Discord. Like the video, comment if you have more questions, etc. But if you made it this far, please consider supporting the content. 2H is furthest reaching normal. The issue is it's not cancelable, so you don't really get much unless you have level 1 super and you're really godlike. You hit confirm that into level 1 super, you get quite a good amount of damage. It can also be used into level 2 super as well. But I think usually level 2 super is generally better for neutral control, unless you know that's going to kill. And of course you can do level 3 super as well. But I don't think it's the best normal. I haven't quite implemented it in my game plan yet, but I could see this being really good fishing, like especially if you have level 1 and your hit confirms are really on point. Oh wait, actually, it's not even as furthest reaching normal. I'm trolling. This is further reaching. So like a lot of times where like I could use this, I'm basically just using this instead because this is such a good whiff punisher and it doesn't cost meter to convert off of. All right, so let's talk about supers. Level 1 super, it's just your standard impulse super. You're not going to use it much outside of a reversal or comboing from this, or unless it's going to kill. Level 2, now this is where the sauce is at. This super is super sick, super fun to play around with. You get the tornado out, it lasts a really long time, it hits, and then you have this like enhanced tornado similar to what you would get for a charged fireball. There's a few ways to play this, right? I think activating it when they're near closer to the corner like this is really strong because you get multiple mix-up opportunities and they can't really back off, right? By the way, if this tornado ever hits, you pretty much always use EX Mixer after, and then you can go meterless, where you go into that jump 2H and then you do H Mixer. That combo is really tricky. So the combo I recommend you learning is this hits, EX Mixer, in the EX214K, and then you just do H Mixer when you land. And you get about 4K from that. Very good, costs a little bit of drive, but it's totally worth it. Some of the other options you have while this is out, of course, everything becomes enhanced, so just doing this is really good, but you kind of lose the tornado, so you don't really want to do that right away. Eagle Spike becomes good, but you know, some people at high level are really good at reacting to this because it is pretty slow. So what I recommend is just trying to play like the strike throw game, like dash forward, grab them. Okay, now you get another opportunity. Now I do the mixer, now I'm +2 on block. You can play something like that. The roll through is really good as well. So you can do like this, and this goes really far. The other cool thing is you can actually kick the tornado at them too. So like you play this mix up and like, let's say they're trying to jump back. Oh, I'm scared. Okay, I get hit by the tornado and then you get a full combo, right? All right, the only thing I didn't talk about were jump in normals. Jump light kick, I think this is useless. You're generally never gonna use jump light kick. Jump light punch, probably the best air to air. It's also good for making your jump in whiff and then you go low on those mix-ups. Jump medium kick, really good, but your best cross up. Jump medium punch is a really good air to air. So if you need like a preemptive air to air, this combo's an EX and you get really good damage for an air to air. Right, so you get air-to-air combos. Jump heavy kick, probably your best jump in. Jump heavy punch is also pretty good too. The double hit like screws me up sometimes, so I generally don't do it. And the second it's not even overhead anyways. So I recommend just sticking with jump heavy kicks for simplicity's sake. But I guess this could also throw an opponent off. You also have this jump 2H. This is a pretty cool normal. It's really tricky, but this move's pretty good in the corner. You can do some cool mix-ups like that. You can also like autocorrect into this and do some really cheap stuff. But the thing is, like, I don't recommend like learning this because like it's kind of gimmicky. Like especially if you have like a good crouch, like a good anti-air normal. I guess Rashid is actually probably pretty good because like he doesn't have like a great way to deal with that. Yep. But I feel like Kim could just like crouch heavy punch this every time and you won't have to deal with it. All right, so advanced section, and this is mostly going to be all combo related. Rashid actually has a ton of different combo routes that we didn't cover in this, and some of them are useful, some of them are very niche, but I think one of the most useful routes is being able to spend EX meter in a combo. If you ever need to extend like a drive rush combo, you can do that. Crouch heavy punch, stand heavy punch into whatever. But for a combo like this, you actually can spend EX meter, and you can do run after. And so I think this combo is really good in the corner where you can get a corner juggle. So you get a lot of extra damage for just 2 bar. That combo is really good. Another situation that might be pretty good, let's say you get a stand heavy punch and you're just buffering it. Instead of buffering into this, which does 2100, you can do a cross up with EX Eagle Spike, and then you can get another Eagle Spike. 400 extra for 2 bar, that's pretty decent, but you get, you get the corner carry from it too. And we have a ton of Twitter tech to show you guys. So like I said, Rashid has some crazy combos. This is one of the more crazy combos that Rashid has. How practical this is, I'm not sure, but just to kind of show you the combo potential of the character, it's really insane. It's absolutely insane. This probably a little more practical. This is max damage, so anytime you land this in the corner, you get hella damage. And of course, that means you're enhanced, which means you get this, which means you get another EX move, which means you get a flippy kick, and then you get that link at the end at the level 3, and you're almost doing 8k. So yeah, Rashid doesn't do much damage. I don't know about that. Especially on the right hit, you do some of the best damage in the game. Here's an example of another Rashid high load suite concept. So this gives you a little bit more damage, and you also get a meaty low here. So in order to make it a true high low, the low is meaty, and if you delay the overhead, it can also be meaty. This is another example of a meaty setup. The idea being here is that you'd probably do this like when your combo is really scaled and you need another mix up to kill. And it can also safe jump. So there's a lot of these setups that I think people will start to figure out that really bring out the mix-up potential of Rashid. All right, so one thing we didn't really talk about was throw Oki. And mid-screen, you don't really get throw Oki. You can kind of do like a charge fireball or something, but you really don't get that much. But in the corner, you can just dash forward and you can get a throw. But this is interesting tech from Dogura, where if you dash forward and you do a crouch medium punch, which is your best meaty, it whiffs, right? But if you hold down back after your dash, you see how there's the down back there? Your dash is 1 frame longer, which makes your crouch medium punch a perfect meaty. So after throw, that's typically what I mix up with. I either do dash forward throw, dash forward crouch medium punch, or dash up, walk back, stand heavy punch. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If this guide was helpful at all, consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out, helps us grow, helps us make more content like this. Like and comment and share the video if you want to help support. I am playing Rashid. I'll probably play him as an alt right now. I'm still maining Kim, but I think Rashid is a better character than Kim, at least in this patch, because you basically Kim with the EX reversal. So I might be making the switch after Evo. We'll see. But if you want to keep up with the grind, follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and that sort of thing. Anyways, take care, y'all. Peace.